The Republican Party has a new campaign going. It's called Growth and Opportunity Project. As part of this new GOP, Republican Party Chairman Reince Priebus is visiting around the country. Yesterday, Mr. Priebus held a, quote, African-American engagement and listening session in Atlanta with African-American small business owners and community leaders from across Georgia. According to a black Republican blogger who was at the meeting, this means that Reince Priebus met with Georgia's black Republicans. Mr. Priebus told reporters afterward that the Republican Party has to change its ways. He said the party has to spend more time in more communities year-round, not just before an election. But on the core stuff, the Republican chairman says that Republicans are okay. Quote, I don't think there's anything that we need to fix as far as our principles and our policies. So, on some level, it is clearly embarrassing to Republicans that more than 90% of African Americans vote against them. It must be, or else they would not keep announcing every 4 years that the Republican Party was wrong to use race for political advantage, that the party was wrong to use race as a political wedge. It sounds nice, right? The new Republican Party is going to reach out to you right where you live. Kind of like when Mitt Romney went to the Martin Luther King Day parade in Jacksonville.
Wow, you want to do a picture here? Hey, I get to be up here. Come on. Who's got your camera, though? Who got the camera? Who let the dogs out? Who? Thanks, guys.
Yeah, who did let those dogs out? Or how about the time that Newt Gingrich called Spanish the language of living in the ghetto and then apologized in Spanish?
El fin de semana pasado hice unos comentarios que reconozco produjeron un mal sentimiento entre la comunidad latina.
Or how about when the Republican Party elected an African-American chairman and he announced the dawn of the hip-hop Republican with Republican principles in urban, suburban hip-hop settings? How's that working out anyway? Oh, right. If the Republican Party really wants to change, they might start thinking about folks like these. Voters in an Ohio city forced to wait in ridiculous lines because Republicans cut the time for early voting. Republicans are still trying to make it harder for people in urban, suburban, hip-hop settings to vote, with laws that require new forms of ID. And they are still voting down bills that would expand early voting or just keep the lines reasonable at the polls. And Republicans are still making plain old life harder for working people. They're still cutting taxes on the rich and snipping away the safety net for the poor. The day Republicans really go out into our communities and make a priority of our priorities, well, then you'll know that the real makeover has arrived.